Have you ever wondered how water could transform your hydration habits and your overall well-being? So welcome to you, Conscious You. Today
Thank
we
you.
have a today we have a guest. This is Klara, and we're having a special, I would say, let's say a special podcast today because we're going to talk about all being conscious about your health. And we invited Klara because Klara has transformed her health in ways that many will be very impressed too. So, so the story we're going to uncover today is about your health and how water can transform your health if you know how and if you drink the proper water. So, today I'd like to introduce Klara. Klara is dedicated expert in health education and hydration science. With her rich background and commitment to truth seeking and problem solving, Klara offers invaluable insights into the critical role of hydration in overall health. Join us to explore her unique perspective on addressing chronic hydration and embracing wellness as a proactive advocate for personal growth. Welcome, Klara.
Well, thank you, Lucy. It's good to see you.
It's good. So, let me ask, let's start with because we're talking about being conscious about our health today, because my company is You Conscious You. So, everything that makes you more conscious about what you do with yourself, who you become is very important. I could see since I know you, you had a transformative journey through water. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from and what we should know about Klara?
Well, thank you, Lucy. You're very sweet. Yes, so my name is Klara Reid, and I live on the west coast of Canada, near Vancouver, with my husband Fred. I came to Canada about 4 years ago from Romania, and with my two children and my former husband. And I have a very, very rich journey as far as health is concerned, even before Canada and after Canada. So, to answer to your question, if I'm conscious, and it's good to be conscious, you're absolutely right. And more conscious we become, it's going to be easier to rectify the issues. So in my case, because everybody is unique, everybody has a different life, has different genes, we have all different lifestyle. But with me, one thing which was transformative in my life to the worse was when I contracted hepatitis A virus from the water in Bucharest.
Mm.
I got really ill, and for about 2 months, we couldn't figure out, neither my parents or my doctor, what was wrong with me, but I was very, very sick. And finally, at a private clinic, they found this virus, and I was quarantined for 6 weeks in a hospital, put on a very strict diet for a year. But really, this inflammation of liver lasted all my life, and I never recovered completely. What else happened, though, is because this came from water in Bucharest, where I was sent as an exchange student. You
Mm-hmm.
know how here the French want to learn English. In Romania, my mother tongue was Hungarian. So I wanted to learn Romanian very much. So, and so I went to learn the language, but the water quality was very different there when, like in the mountainous area where I lived. So I was the only one who got sick. And because this came from water, I kind of became a water hater. I did not trust water. I didn't want to drink water, and actually stayed away from water as much as I could for no less or more than 45 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because I could never find tap water which I would trust. I tried in Toronto, I tried it here in Chilliwack, where the water is pretty good. Um, no, it just wasn't the real deal for me. And so I resumed to very small amounts of mineral water, carbonized mineral water. And I didn't know that I'm hurting myself even worse, more, because now on the top of dehydration, chronic cellular dehydration, came this acidosis. And that's caused lots of problems, arthritis and other autoimmune issues, lots of infections, and lots of pain. So
Would you,
no, I never thought that there is actually water which I will accept and will
oh my
drink.
goodness. Could you explain what is acidosis for people, just in case they don't know what it
Sure,
means?
certainly.
In simple
So,
words.
yeah, for the body to
Mhm.
work at its best, to maintain homeostasis,
Mhm.
so for the immune system, our built-in immune system, to work properly and protect us from illnesses, there is a very delicate pH balance in the body, which has to be maintained. Now, when you accumulate too much toxins, or you eating too much acidic foods, you're drinking stuff which is very acidic, lower than 7 pH, then that can affect your body pH, not your
Mhm.
blood, but overall your body pH.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so your body, you already had different problems and chronic dehydration. You had different health issues,
Yeah, I had many.
plus your body was acidic.
Yeah, I had so many different ones that I could never believe that the root cause of all of those was really dehydration, which is the primary stressor in the body. So every time I had stress in my life, I couldn't handle it. I ended up in the hospital, having 5 surgeries and 13 hospitalizations. And nobody ever
Wow.
told me what was wrong with me, where this whole thing came from. It started with calcium deficiency, which was also very hard to figure it out that time in Romania. But even then, the doctor didn't know why I'm deficient with calcium. And because,
Hmm.
good water is supposed to have good electrolytes, calcium, magnesium, and I wasn't drinking it. So,
So your body was deficient in calcium, magnesium.
mhm.
Wow. Okay. And what are the just to give people an idea of the type of health issues you had before you start to drink water and you put the right calcium and magnesium into your
Mhm.
body. So what was happening? Give us like maybe like short example of the health issues you had just before you start
Or
that
the
journey
health
on water.
issues. A big one was uh, fibroid tumors, for which
Mm.
I had surgery done. A big one was I couldn't breathe. I ended up in the hospital. I had an incident of impending doom where you practically think that you're dying. It's a very, very traumatic experience.
Wow.
I was hospitalized in Toronto with a so-called acute psychosis episode, which again came from not be able to sleep and being so dehydrated. Um, and then later on in life, I had another major root cause which made me sick, and that was mercury and from the amalgams in my mouth. So until we discovered that, my immune system completely gave up and couldn't do anything with being so dehydrated at the cellular level. So I
Mm.
suffered like a dog. I was told that I'm in more serious crisis than a cancer patient can be, and I was just praying, for and always looking and never giving up and talking and researching and reading. So I did recover maybe halfway from the heavy metals, thanks to a naturopath in Abbotsford, Dr. Ewing, who discovered the mercury in my system,
Mhm.
and I spent over $50,000 on chelation and other treatments, colonics and massages, and so many other detoxing things. But the big breakthrough came at age 57 when I had such a hips that it was bone on bone. I couldn't, we hiked up to Shem. I couldn't come down from the mountain. I couldn't sit or drive. It affected my work as an
Wow.
insurance broker because I was driving a lot. And who knew that all this is from dehydration? And I would never find out if not for this gallon of water, which a stranger gave to my husband to bring it home to me.
Wow. And what was that water? Tell us, because now I'm curious.
So
Wait,
I am convinced that
the
this was
audience
an
is probably
answer.
curious.
Yeah, I was convinced that this was an answer to my prayer, this water, because God just works in mysterious ways, and this water, it was so meant to be for me that the first time when I met with the lady, I completely ignored her. And then the second time, the same person meets my husband at another meeting, and then she sends me this water, which I almost threw out because I said how silly it is to send somebody a gallon of water in a plastic jug when we had our well, we had no chlorine up at Ryder Lake. But then I said to myself, I changed my mind. I said, well, at least I should try it if she went through all that trouble.
Mhm.
So, Lucy, that was the most amazing experience I ever had because my body immediately responded, immediately accepted this water. It went down so quickly and so easily, and it never bloated me. And my thirst signal turned on, and I just wanted more and more. And so they said to us, we can go and get as much as we want. And after 2 weeks, my energy level was up maybe 10 times from before because I was dealing, one of the things I was dealing with was this chronic fatigue, they call it. But of course, these are just labels,
Yeah.
and those are your stages of either toxicity or deficiency. So uh, this caused a lot of problem for me. And one by one, they beautifully got solved. First the energy, and then the arthritis actually took a few months. Then I had very bad psoriasis, shingles, other immune issues, and they all got solved. And the main thing is that I can manage my health. So for 45 years, I was always at doctor's offices and doing tests. Probably more blood was taken from me than any blood donor on earth just to test me, and nothing ever been found. Many times I was told that I have something serious with my lungs, but they couldn't tell what it was. Well, I'm going to tell you what it was. The lungs are 80% made of water, and I had such a dehydrated lungs that after 3 years of drinking this special water and a lot of it, and we know that this water absorbs 100%, but at least 95%, if not 100%. After 3 years, I was told by a Chinese amazing doctor that my lungs were still only 50% hydrated. So as soon as
Mhm.
I hydrated my lungs, I never had, I could throw the puffer away, the asthma puffer. I had no problems breathing. So it was just so transformative, as you said at the beginning, that I couldn't ignore it.
Mhm.
So uh, it just made me think that because being a life insurance broker and filling up applications, how people they have to tell all their medical issues. I had
Mhm.
enough experience to see that there are so many people are struggling with so many chronic issues, and then it just came to me that if this helped me and certainly helped the persons who sent me the water, because he was in a basement with Gulf War syndrome for 19 years,
Wow.
and he became um, his life just he just got his life back thanks to this water. This made me think that this is something serious. And so I started studying it, and I also started to tell people about it and sowing seeds. I even went to Toronto to my ex-friends from before I moved to the West Coast. And I was just like a maniac telling everybody that you're supposed to pay attention to this thing because look what happened to me. And so that's how the whole thing started, my journey. And
Wow.
then I started writing books about it.
Very nice. Very nice. Um, in our current day, pretty much everything we drink or we eat, will will create some acidity in our body. So what you're saying is this water will bring your body to more alkaline. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Yes, but that is just one of the aspects, because what
Mm-hmm.
happens is with nature's perfect fuel made for us, the way water used to be, you see, that fuel is supposed to solve many problems for us, not just the pH. Um, Water is supposed to be living, and those things, and the organized structure, and that will give the water life. So when you're drinking living water, which is functional, you're actually going to benefit from it, and you're going to benefit greatly. So water has a bunch of properties, good water, medical grade water, which all work together in synergy. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them is the medical, the negative charge. Another one would be its structure, its smaller clusters, its a different surface tension, the ORP, the oxidation reduction potential, and the pH. So they all work together. That's why there are so many counterfeit waters and ionizers and hydrogen machines out there. They all want to try to achieve what we have with just concentrating or focusing on one property.
Mm-hmm. So
But of
the
course, water is more sophisticated. We still don't know almost anything about it, but what we know is already telling us that not all water is created equal.
tell us a little bit more about the positive and negative charge of water and why it's
Mhm,
important because you have the pH, you have the negative
mhm.
and a positive charge
Yes,
that all of this goes into our body. And have you said also that the water has minerals, natural minerals in it? So if you can
right, right.
explain that, please.
Oh, absolutely. That's such a good question, Lucy. So, what happens, what I meant by negative charge and living, how really does that? Well, you have to think of yourself as an electrical being. We
Mhm.
cannot be fixed, just like us, when something electrical is broken, a plumber cannot fix it, right? So, you need an electrician. So, what this water has, it's electrically charged and it's capable of donating trillions of electrons. Now, that's what we need for us to stop oxidation and to deal with the free radicals caused by the pollution and the stress and the EMF and just this environment we live in, because we're so not in nature anymore. We're in front of the computer, we are with air conditioning and artificial lights. Everything is depriving us, it's sucking life out of us because it's stealing electrons from us. So now you have this water which is capable of is the cathodic water from the ionizer, which is going to donate trillions of electrons and going to stop these free radicals in the body. So you're gonna age, you're gonna slow down aging, you're gonna slow down oxidation, you're gonna there are several things happening. And one of the most important things which I learned during my research is that it affects in a great deal the mitochondria, the cell engine, and that is the main thing in metabolism. So nowadays, whistleblowers are saying to us that cancer and diabetes and dementia, they're all metabolic diseases. So what it means that people's metabolism is not working properly. So why is that? Well, if water never gets into the cell, or only a very small percentage of water, then there is nothing to bring the nutrients in. There is nothing which to generate ATP or energy in the cellular level. There is nothing to take out the toxins. So there will be an accumulation of toxin, and it will be acidosis, and it will be inflammation.
So
So
what is the absorption of that water compared
Mhm.
to tap water or
Mhm.
let's say a good bottle of water we can buy at
Mhm.
$4
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
any
store.
water. You can go from bottled water to tap water and from well water to reverse osmosis or other purified waters. And when we measure it, they all have a positive charge. They all dead. They all stealing electrons and non-functional to us. They don't do much. And of course, water needed to keep the digestive tract clean water, and you need the good bacteria in your microbiome. And one of the big problems with tap water is that all those additives into the water, they non-selective, so they kill the good bacteria. So even
Mm.
Health Canada says that tap water is linked to cancers, but they say it very, very quietly, right? Most of the people have no idea about this. So I learned so much because I just wanted to know why. Why is this big difference? How come I got my life back? How can I help others? So pretty much I was studying day and night for 6 years, Lucy. I was so fascinated by this that my husband only saw my back for years. Thankfully, he's a very patient guy.
Wow. So, we can see lots of benefits of drinking that water. So, tell me more
Yes,
about,
you asked me about the absorption. I'm so sorry, I
yes, the
got a little bit
absorption of
off
the water.
track.
Hmm.
So actually, there is a doctor, Dr. Rios, who measures the absorption, and he says that the regular bulk water, because of its positive charge, because of the big clusters, many molecules stuck together, we only get about 10-15% absorption from that water. The rest just goes through us. So it really won't do much at the cellular level. But compared to this water, electrolytes reduced water, what I'm drinking, and I think you do, is that we have 95. In fact, some athletes are saying that they get 100% hydration from it.
Wow.
And we already drink more because the water is just tastes good. It's yummy. It's easy to drink it.
Hmm.
So, and then we absorb 4 times, 5 times more. So that is a significant difference there.
Wow. Oh, thank you for that. So 15%, around 15% absorption with the other water. With that one, it's about, is it
Mhm.
always on the
Yeah,
100%, or it depends
and
of the
there are
individual?
other issues with the absorption, Lucy. For example, we know that the water goes into the cell through the water channel, which was discovered in 2003 by two American scientists, and they were given the Nobel Prize for it. And these water channels, they also themselves have a positive charge. So when you drink positively charged water, it will repel the water. So you have to transform it into a negatively charged water in order for the water to get into the cell, and that's going to happen at the cost of your energy, because now your energy going to be lost to somehow get that water in. So instead of getting revitalized and recharged as functional living water should do, that's our recharging fuel. Now you're going to get even more exhausted, and it's just not good when you have no functional water. And the other thing is, you asked me about the electrolytes, the minerals.
Mhm.
Well, those are so important, and I have a few things to say about that, because first of all, you could never make this water without having these electrolytes in the water, because those make the water to able to conduct electricity. Secondly, they are so important for us that now people are waking up and they're trying to add so-called inorganic electrolytes to their water and minerals. The problem is that unless even the ancient Egyptians knew that unless at least 54, so more than half of your electrolytes are coming from the source water, which is in completely bioavailable form, you're not going to be absorbing it. So
Mm.
you cannot, let's say you're drinking reverse osmosis water, which is deprived of these minerals. I've seen people getting really seriously sick after a few years of drinking this water, so deficient, and it's very hard because the CAT scan won't show. So they go to the doctor and they just don't know what's happening with them. And then this way, I helped a dog, and I helped an insurance client of mine who thought she's dying. And then as soon as she got out the reverse osmosis unit from the house, and she got an ionizer, and she started this drinking this water, in 3 months, she was totally fine.
Mm.
So I see this all the time, and it makes sense. The other thing is that when you're drinking this mineral deprived water, your body has to buffer it, so you're going to lose more electrolytes. So, for example, I have an older lady here, a neighbor, and she says the doctor told her not to drink water because then she's going to lose minerals. Well, in a sense, it's true if we think that all water is made equal, because
Mhm.
some water will do that.
Mhm.
But that's the great benefit of our water, that not only that you don't dilute and you don't lose your minerals, but you can actually supply your body with this. And it's very easy for me to prove that to you, because I have a permanent heart condition. I believe it's from the heavy metals poisoning, and this is called the left anterior hemiblock. So it took me months and maybe a couple of years. I was struggling with, ended up always in the hospital in the emergency room because I couldn't breathe, till I figured out that if I add magnesium to my diet, or I take magnesium pills, that helps me. So I had to take 800 milligrams a day to just function. Well, guess what? Since I'm drinking this water, I hardly need any of the magnesium to supplement with it. And only I take one or two, meaning 100 or 200 milligrams on a day when I am overworked or I had too much stress or something. But on a normal, regular day, I don't need any. That's how much minerals are in this cathodic water, because these minerals all have a positive charge, so they are attracted to the cathode, which is negatively charged in the ionizer. So the cathodic water which we're drinking has ton of energy stored in it, and ton of good bioavailable electrolytes.
That's why you call it the living water.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I would say, before we go further into what is that water, because yes, I'm drinking it. I've been drinking it now for a year, and
Mhm.
I haven't slept like good nights for many months, many years, and like normal 8 hours of sleep. That was not my case. And also, I was working long hours. And because I drank that, what I was able to have the energy to do it all, even without sleep. So I was very impressed when I started to drink it. And it's very delicious. But what I want to say to the people who are going to watch this video today is how important it is to know what you're drinking, in fact. You know, what are you drinking, and do your own research. What are you really drinking, putting in your body, and how that can affect your body on a daily basis. Because yes, a lot of people are dehydrated because they don't drink water. But number one, because they don't like it. They don't like the taste of water. So
Yeah,
they
and
don't
that's why
drink water.
80% of the population is dehydrated. It's a big issue. That's why I went in it, and it's simple enough and logical enough that anybody who would make the time to study this would understand it. So there is no monkey business here, because we are so bombarded with so many scams. But when you get to the bottom of it, it's logical, it's true, it's life improving, and it's time uh, proof, because the company is doing this for 50 years.
Hmm.
And it's just growing and growing, and there's so many testimonials nowadays about this water.
And how
So
you have improved people's well-being, in fact, right?
yes, or we have tremendous stories with the water.
Yeah. So at the age of 60, I believe you decided to do that like kind of full time and just
Hmm.
promote this water. So tell us
Hmm.
about can you say the name here and
Certainly,
what made you decide to, but I know why you decided to do that because it changed your life and you wanted to change people's lives.
yeah.
So what is that water and work, you know,
Okay,
tell us some more
so
about.
so I would say this much to be fair to the company who really doesn't want us to make medical claims.
No.
I would say that when it comes to ionized water, it's definitely considered one of the biggest medical breakthroughs since penicillin. Also, the essence of this that this kind of water will change the bioelectric terrain of the body. And we know ever since Pasteur's faulty microbe theory, even he corrected this before he died, that the microbe is nothing, the terrain is everything. So taking that in consideration, you know what happened during COVID, how many people whose terrain wasn't good actually died or got very ill, and others didn't even feel it or didn't even react to that situation. So that's what a good terrain means. So what I'm trying here to say is that, what was your question? I'm so sorry. I lost my
I
thought
was
here.
asking to tell us about the company and
Oh,
why
yes.
you went
Oh,
it, why
yes.
you.
Yes. So the sad situation is that every time something really good comes to the market, and there are some people who watching who want to make quick money, they looking what people are looking for and what people are buying, and then they try to copy this thing.
Mhm.
So in the case of this particular company, first of all, the technology is patented. The technology took 50 years to develop, and they patented, so nobody can copy this. So people who want to make money quickly and copy this thing, they coming up with all sorts of different things, and they try to sell that. So now we have hydrogen generator machines. Now we have alkaline water sold by Costco in plastic bottles made chemically with high pH. All these are scams, in my humble opinion. And if you try it, you will see that you're not going to have the same results, because ultimately that's the point. Does it work or it doesn't?
Mhm.
That's why our company is so generous, and they say, we don't want you to buy. We don't want you to invest in something which you're not going to use. So we're going to let you try this water for a month for free, at no charge and no obligation to buy, and see how your body reacts, and see if it helps and you like it. So that's totally unique about this company. And then because we have these other ionizer companies, what they do, you see, they don't have the technology, they don't use those materials and they don't have the power to split the water molecule to really make ionization real and continuous. So they have to cheat, because they know people are looking for 9.5 pH, for example.
Mhm.
So they try to hide inorganic minerals in their filters, in their multiple filters. And that's how they make the water 9.5, but really they don't have the wattage, the amperage, the transformer. They cannot make ionization real. And of course, the machines don't last. They have this so-called mesh technology. The machine cannot be opened, cannot be cleaned. Everything which water goes through eventually will get moldy, right? And it will deteriorate, from your mat and the bathtub, like
Mhm.
it has holes on it. So after a while, you cannot clean it. You're just going to throw it out. So the same happens with these machines. People use it for a few months and then they just don't work anymore. And then, of course, to sell it, they do all sorts of scams
Mhm.
out there, lifetime warranty, you name it. They just trying to fool the consumer. And this is another reason why I am very passionate about teaching people, because I don't want people to lose their money. I want them to have the real thing, right?
Yeah, but at the
So
end of the day, it's the consumer to do their due diligence and
yes,
educate
but guess what?
themselves.
Nobody has time. So
Hmm.
people just go on Google and there is so much misinformation there, and they don't understand that paid advertisers are, you know, fooling you, and they all say that I am better and I am this, I'm that. So that's why this whole chaos was created nowadays. That's why, Lucy, is good that you're doing this. I really appreciate your efforts, because we're going to educate people, and
Yeah.
this way we people going to wake up, and hopefully they're not going to make mistakes. And I'm just very
Mhm.
grateful that the first thing about water was this particular machine, which is actually certified as a medical device in Japan. And yes, I can tell the name of the company is Energic, and the water's name was given because the Japanese really think that this water is just like nature's water. So Kongen means return to origin. So
Good to
this
know.
is one particular ionizer which I highly recommend. I don't know one other water which would work. I haven't seen in 13 years anybody having fantastic results. We have the molecular hydrogen in this water, which is turned out to be the future of medicine, one of the most powerful, not one, but the most powerful antioxidant on earth known until this day. And let me tell you, that's why in 13 years I never needed a doctor. Uh, I can manage my own health. The molecular hydrogen is just taking care of the free radicals. So if I don't feel good, let's say I overate or I had too much stress on the highway, or uh, I picked up a virus or a bacteria, I just double my water intake,
Mhm.
and all these free radicals will be turned into water. So actually, you can pee it out.
That's
Simple as that.
that's what I wanted to say. Since I had that water, I didn't have a cold at all in a year. I have to say though, if I have any symptoms, yes, I drink more water because they always say drink water, drink water. So
Good, good for you. You should.
this one has all the properties inside, but I also take supplements along with that water to really keep
Mhm,
myself like every time I have a
mhm.
symptom, right
Oh
away
no,
supplemented
absolutely.
water,
Just
water.
the same way, nothing can replace water. Not coffee, not alcohol, not beer. Nothing can, not even dead water can replace living water. The same way, we cannot replace now everything else with water.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
still need sunshine. You still need rest. You still need to exercise. You
Lower
still
your
need good
stress.
good
Yeah.
food. However, let me tell you that the difference between doing just like this naturopath in Langley area says, you can do it the hard way and the expensive way, or you can do it the easy way and the
Mm-hmm.
cheap way,
Mm-hmm.
because our machine lasts 25 plus.
Yeah.
Some say 30 years.
And
It's just the best solution there is.
I just wanted to add, this naturopath, in fact, is gonna work with client if they drink that water. That's what he says because he believes so much it's gonna improve their health. So he's making sure this is his decision. We don't need to talk about it longer. But the point I want to make is making sure that people put the right water in their body along with the
Mhm.
treatment it is providing to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So then
And
they're
the
improving.
supplementation is important. However, I have to tell you, I'm only using and spending a third of the money I used to spend before, because now
Mhm.
that supplement actually gets to the cell where it's utilized.
Yeah, yeah. And the
So,
water is absorbed in the body
mm,
too, so the body
mm,
doesn't need as much
mm.
of the other thing.
And the reason why this naturopath is so successful, because she's doing live blood analysis. So people go in there and they see their blood under the microscope with live blood analysis, and they see the rouleaus and they see that there is trouble there. They see there is no oxygen. They don't have a good, healthy blood flow. Uh, and then after drinking this water, everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see
Mm-hmm.
it with your own eyes and you can feel it. So
Very nice, very
we're
nice.
talking about the real deal here. you know.
So, okay, so based on what I know, you know, where do people go if they want to try that water? They need to go to someone who has it. Like, for example, I have the machine, you have the machine.
Mhm.
Aurelia, the
Well,
center has a machine.
that's a good question, because the company, Mr. Oshiro, the founder, decided to move this water, these units, through people who already using it, so they
Mm-hmm.
can share the water.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot purchase this unless you go to a distributor. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I am a distributor, and I have 3,000 distributors in my group.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Lucy, what you want to say to clients about how much you involved with this.
But
But so
what I want people to know is they are interested to know more about that water. They need to first they could reach out to us. I'm going to put like a link here where they can reach out to us. But also just know that if you're interested to know more about that water, you can read about it online on Kangen. What is the website of Kangen, for
no,
example?
no. So the company, enagic.com, has
Mm-hmm.
some
Energic.com.
information,
Yeah.
but I think that it would be very helpful if people would contact us, because we have videos, we have documents, we have presentations on Zoom
Mm-hmm.
where we
Mm-hmm.
explain everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is very helpful. I could never understand it if I never took the time and
Mm-hmm.
went to a presentation where I could see everything, all the measuring and everything with my own eyes, how we remove the pesticides, for example, from the food, which is the one of the main
Mm-hmm.
cancer-causing
Mm-hmm.
agent we have to deal with. And
Mm-hmm.
initially, actually, I bought my machine to remove that, because I already been told by my biodentist that I can't afford to have food with pesticides on, because those are all made with heavy metals, and I already been so toxic with metals that I'm not going to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and
That's
initially I bought the machine for that particular water, the 11.5 pH water, to get my food cleaned and get rid of carcinogens. I never knew that forever I'm going to love this water. you
mm-hmm.
know? But I
Absolutely. I use
certainly
it for
do.
that. I use it
I
for that
never
too.
drank, I never bought a bottled water. And that's another thing why I think we have to get the word out there, because the environment is suffering. These bottled waters is not a sustainable solution for us. So we can save the ocean and the ocean life. And if everybody would be conscious how to live eco-friendly, and replace all those chemicals in the household with the different waters from this machine, and never use non-reusable plastic bottles, everything would change, and we
Mm-hmm.
would help the humanity and the next generation tremendously.
That's very nice. So I do just as a side note, I do use the water, the 11.5 to soak my vegetables, and then I
Good.
put that into reusable Ziploc, and they last like my kale the other day last like over a week and a half. Fresh, fresh, crunchy,
Yes.
crunchier than at the store, in fact, because I put in the water and then I put in the fridge. So it gives the vegetables like a longer shelf life, I
Yeah,
would
gives
say.
life. This water gives life to everything. Why pets choose it? If you put this water down for your dog or for your cat,
Hmm.
and you're gonna put
I
some
do.
tap water, and they know it. So that's how we
Mhm.
know this is not placebo, because the cat won't know what you gave them. But every time they go, and they cats are absolutely obsessed. I don't know if you've seen Aurelia's cat would not go away, just sitting all day beside the machine in her house.
Yeah, I have a cat.
And
I
my
give that
daughter
water to
has
my cat.
had a couple of dogs, and we had a big dog, a golden retriever. We saved 2, 3 times the price what we spent on this machine, just by not going to the vet with our dog for six
Mhm.
years.
Wow. So let's say that for today, I would say we're going to put some information. I'm going to put the clinic information down below this recording today so they can reach out to Reach Optimal Health to have more
Sure, sure,
information about the
absolutely.
water. And then people will be led to because Reach Optimal Health is a distributor.
Yes.
And
That's all you
well,
have to do, Lucy. And then if you need help anytime, you guys can call me, or you
absolutely.
can do a three-way call. We're gonna answer all the questions people might have. And
Hmm.
I know you're doing, Optimal Health is doing a fantastic job, not just with the water, but with lymphatic drainage, with massages, with other things.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
their location is amazing in Langley, easy and
To
you guys
find.
do water share as well, right?
Absolutely. And the beauty if any of the listeners are interested in having more information, we'll send them there. But also Reach Up Small Help have also financing available for people who
Yes.
want to buy the machine
Oh,
at
that's
some
right.
point.
That's right. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really easy, because if you do the math, actually having this device in your home gonna save you money, not gonna
Hmm.
cost you money. That's the
Hmm.
way this is made. And you just have to sit down with one of us and understand that. And please have at the reception at Optimal Health, have my Zoom schedule, which is always Tuesday nights at 6 p.m.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
they
Hmm.
can log in, just let me know where they're coming from, ask any questions. I share everything from the company as a business opportunity, to the health, and to the technology, the science behind it, everything they need to know. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I got a phone call, and this very young woman who was just diagnosed with cancer, she reached out for help, and she already has the machine on her counter, and she's very, very happy, because I think prevention and also a conscious lifestyle, that's the pretty much the only thing
Hmm.
can help you these days. We
Hmm.
are so exposed to so many things,
Hmm.
and we also are fooled by so many very harmful treatments which are out
Hmm.
there.
Absolutely. But thank you so much, Clara, for this great information today. Before we wrap up, I'd like to say a quote: "The greatest wealth is your health." So the
It
greatest
is.
wealth is your health. So thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope to our listeners that you found this conversation helpful and enjoyable. And we're looking forward to add more information about being conscious of your health in other podcasts. And we're going to reinvite again Clara to talk more about it another
Well,
time. So,
anytime. Can I just mention my books?
yes, if you want to mention your books, and I
Yeah,
can add those
so
titles in the
mhm.
the comment below.
Yeah. My newest book is called Liquid Wisdom: The Soul of Hydration. And I'm really proud of this one because uh, it's, how you write your first book, and then you learn a lot, and then you write your second, and by the time you are your third, you are better. Everything just gets better and better.
It's like drinking the water.
Yeah. But
But
my book, The Purple Wave, is also available on Amazon. These other ones need to be published, and but will be soon
so
published. And
please send me that information by email. I will add it in the comment, and
yeah,
people
yes,
will be
absolutely.
able to buy it for the ones that are interested. Thank you so much
Wonderful.
again,
Oh, you're very welcome,
and
Lucy.
I'll see
It's
you on the
so
next
good
one.
that we talked, and I love what you're doing, and just keep doing it because you will see that the benefits will come, and there is nothing today better we can do to help people because there is a big crisis out there. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you on the next one.
Bye.